Joining us now is my good buddy, Mayor Bobby Dyer of Virginia Beach. By the way, the biggest city in Virginia, and he's up for re-election November 3rd. Mayor Dyer, great to have you.
Hey, John, as always, a pleasure to be with you. How are you doing?
Mayor Dyer, never better because things are moving in our direction. Now, finally, Governor Northam relaxes the asinine restrictions on Virginia Beach that was causing more and more business owners to go under. Bars now open until, midnight, although there is still the mitigation. What effect has this had on your business community, Mayor Dyer, in Virginia Beach?
Well, I'll tell you what, obviously, the whole COVID situation has had a negative effect on everybody. But that being said, we fared a little bit better than a lot of folks. I worked with the governor at least a number of months ago. We were the first ones to get our beaches open. We were able to get them open for Memorial Day. And then our police did a magnificent job on July 4th and Labor Day, containing, in a positive way, the protest activities. So the indications I've been getting from the hotel and the restaurants, we were able to salvage the season quite a bit. But once again, we still have to be very cognizant of the effects that it's had on restaurants and businesses and everything. And, combine that with parents having to stay home and take care of their kids. And, John, as we talked about before, some of the collateral challenges coming up with, fighting the pandemic, where when people are confined and businesses slowed down, the increases of depression, suicide, alcoholism, drug abuse, and domestic violence, this is present a problem for society.
So, look, it's been a big problem there, but you guys seem to have navigated your way through this. What are business owners in Virginia Beach? What are they telling you now? How do they feel about the future going forward, and can they survive now?
Well, we're doing our best we have. We're working with the state and federal to make sure that we get some lifeline of cash into the businesses. Regrettably, some businesses are just not going to make it, and that is such a shame. But once again, as we're still moving forward with economic development. The way that I look at things, John, that we're one day closer to this being over than we were yesterday. But once again, we're not sure when this is going to come. And we just have to try to make the best of a bad situation. But, the city that, we took a financial hit, but, in terms of revenues for, paying for essential services, but we fared far better than a lot of other cities in the Commonwealth.
Tell me about the mayor's race, Bobby Dyer.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think I have been a battle-tested mayor in many ways. I've gone through tragedies. We've been through Corona. We've been through civil unrest. We've been through city manager changes. But something, we proved one thing. We're a resilient city. And, and this community has come behind in a very, very positive way. And I think the leadership that I've shown, quite frankly, but also the rest of council, but, we have a tremendous team. Why would anybody want to change, a positive course in the middle of a, crisis situation? I think, that our council has come together. We had a unanimous vote on the budget. We've had a unanimous, selection of a city manager. We're congealing as a council and working with a tremendous new city manager. Patrick Dehaney is going to be a blessing to this city. Just hired a police chief. Everything is trending positive. And I feel I've been a steady hand on the tiller during rough seas. There has to be a compelling reason for people to want to change. And I'm confident that, with my military experience, and my experience as being a physical therapist a home physical therapist for 4.5 decades. John, I have been in thousands of homes in Virginia Beach and the region. I've established a positive relationship with the other mayors. Virginia Beach is a great city, and we want to take a great city to the next level.
John Fredericks Radio Network, Trucking the Truth Across America. We're with Virginia Beach Mayor Bobby Dyer. Mayor Dyer up for re-election to a first full term in November. That'll be November 3rd. Obviously, he's got opposition there. On paper, it's nonpartisan, but Dyer basically is a Republican. Your chief opponent is a Democrat. So we got that. That's just kind of the reality of the situation. Mayor Dyer, tell us about your relationship with the police in Virginia Beach.
I'll tell you what, they have always stood by. I've always been with them. They have always been with me. I wrote an editorial about what foolishness it would be to defund the police. And last Friday, we had a press conference with the sheriffs and Jim Wood and Senator Kiggins and Delegate Mieres and Glenn Davis. And we basically said with the qualified immunity, this is unacceptable. Mm-hmm. And even though it got shot down in committee, this is kind of what I call the Lazarus bill. It keeps on coming back from the dead. And we anticipate it, coming back in January. We cannot, what's happening to a police on the national thing is, bad, but what's coming out of Richmond, we can't tolerate it. And Virginia Beach is not a city where I'm ever going to tell the police to stand down. Mm-hmm. They have functioned magnificently, like I said, during the things. Yes, we had an unfortunate, on May 31st, damage. And I was heartbroken on the next day to go down and see the $300,000 plus damage that was done that day. But since then, I have been personally working with some of the protesters that are reasonable. I've been out there doing community forums and, trying to build the bridges. But, John, through adversity, let's find opportunity. Mm-hmm. Let me say this. Virginia Beach has the potential with our magnificent police force, which we are the safest city in this country. Mm-hmm. And, we are a gold standard certification. And we are big into building with community. And our community found that they have come together magnificently under the worst of times. John, we could be the national template on a city that has come together and rallied together with our police and making our city safe and our community better. We're going to be the national standard by which other cities are going to be judged in the future.
One of your main rivals is business owner of Virginia Beach, Jody Wagner, and she announced her candidacy, I think, a couple months back during the middle of the crisis you guys are going through. Can you just give us a couple of the main policy differences, to your knowledge, Mayor, between incumbent Mayor Bobby Dyer, who I'm talking to right now, and main challenger businesswoman Jody Wagner?
Well, the point is I respect her business, her acumen. She did serve as a secretary under two governors. But, being in an elective office, between my two opponents, they've never served in an elective office. And understanding local government is far different than understanding state government. And I have a working relationship with the city council. And, we're technically nonpartisans, but here's the deal. Once you're elected, I have 453,000 constituents. And my job is to serve them and be not a politician, but a public servant. Mm-hmm. And, that's what I do. During my tenure, and, I'm being told that I've never been seen. Where's Bobby been? Well, I have documented in 2019, I made 761 people contacts. And, my point is that, I'm not an elite. I'm a people person. I am regarded as the people's mayor. Mm-hmm. And once again, I don't have tentacles to Richmond or anybody. My focus is to focus right here on Virginia Beach, the people, the police. And the other thing is the big difference. I have military experience. I have an outstanding relationship. We cannot minimize our relationship with any of the military here.
Right.
And I've established those relationships. I have established relationships with the other mayors in the region. You know, if you're going to fire somebody, have a compelling reason. And I believe in my heart that I have done a good job as a servant leader, and there is absolutely no reason to make a change at this point in time.
Bobby Dyer running for mayor of Virginia Beach for a first full term. He served out the second half of the former mayor's term, who resigned. This would be his first full term. That election will be decided in November. Several candidates running. Jody Wagner, the main one that's competing with him. But Bobby, look, I think you're in good shape here, because the Virginia Beach, when you look at the business situation, it really could have been a catastrophe. But I thought you navigated your way through it as best as any mayor could do. I was there. Remember, we had the Open Virginia Beach meeting down at the beach. Yep. At the ocean front. You guys were there for a couple hours, and I know you've written a number of letters to the governor imploring him to give your merchants the opportunity to save their businesses and make a living. Let's go to public schools in Virginia Beach. What's the end game? When do we get them open?
Well, as soon as humanly possible. As you know, in our form of government, we have an independent school board, right, and superintendent. But that being said, ultimately, safety is critical. But at the point, once again, with people being confined in their homes, it hurts the economy when people have with child care considerations. The thing is that as we proceed, let's do it safely. But I think. Let me put it this way. John, you and I were kids, back in the day, and I remember Leave It to Beaver on First Run. Back then, we actually respected cops and teachers, and maybe not the case these days. But part of it was socialization. Kids have to be with other kids to learn how to function in life. So I think, while we got to be somewhat cautious, but the goal, we got to find ways to get these kids back into the classroom. And, so part of the learning process, an essential part of the learning process is, socialization, playing with each other and learning how to win at baseball and how to lose at baseball. And, that's got to be a priority. But, I think we as a city have to give the schools the resources, and which we always have. You realize we got one of the top school systems in the country. We got the top public safety in the country. We are one of the most livable cities in this country, and we just got to keep that going.
Well, Bobby Dyer, I think you're in really good shape in this election. I know you've worked hard. You've built great relationships across the board. I think that's going to make a huge difference. Tell us about some of the development on Virginia Beach, and let's start with the Cavalier. It got a lot of attention. For those that are not in Virginia Beach, haven't been there, I've been there. It's pretty fantastic, but it had a lot of good press and some bad. The Cavalier development at the north end of the boulevard at the ocean front. Are you happy with how it's gone? Are you pleased with everything that's happened?
Well, let me put it this way. A lot of development is always sometimes shrouded in controversy.
Right.
But once again, the Cavalier has been a jewel in our, city, and it was, fixed up and restored magnificently. We're getting ready to open up a huge sports center that's going to have up to 14, I believe, basketball, volleyball courts, wrestling tournaments. Is going to have an AAU certified track and field. And, John, what that's going to do is bring in business year round. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
One of the problems is, as a resort city, we shut down during the off season.
Right.
That's not going to happen. We got people now who are building, livable spaces down there.
Right.
We're looking for a revitalization of our convention business. We got the Vibe District. We're working forward on the Dome project with a surf park and other things there. And, revitalization of Atlantic Avenue. We want to make the oceanfront, from the Cavalier all the way down to the Rudy Loop area, a true destination, not only for tourists, but people that live in Virginia Beach, that live in the 757. Let people know that this is their beach too. But the other thing is, what it's really going to come down to, with all the billions of dollars we're going to need for stormwater, $1 billion we're going to need for school revitalization and modernization and rebuilding, actually. We got to bring in new business, and I'm proud to say that our economic development under Taylor Adams, we have a lot of businesses on queue that want to come to our great city. And, with the broadband coming in, that's going to create a plethora of jobs. One of the biggest problems we've had in Virginia Beach over the decades is people would graduate from William and Mary and Hampton University and ODU, and there's no jobs for them, and people would have to go to Northern Virginia and New York to work. We want to create those jobs down here, and I am dedicated to that. I've said in 2 State of the Cities, Virginia Beach is going to be the city of yes, the city of inclusion, the welcoming city, the city of diversity, with a level playing field for everyone. And the other thing, John, the strength of the city is that we are a faith-based organization, a faith-based city with many faiths. And that's the glue that is holding this city together. Excuse me, in a way, a lot of cities can't. Virginia Beach is great. Our military presence, they're part of the DNA of everything. My God, we are such a blessed city. It's unbelievable, John.
Bobby Dyer, your enthusiasm for Virginia Beach really spells out. You've done a great job. I love the idea of the winter sporting facility, not a summer sport. You can have all the baseball fields you want. You already got the people for that. But as a father with an athlete that travels around the U.S. to play baseball, I can tell you we're going to Greensboro this weekend, Atlanta back there next weekend, Fort Myers after that. Those cities that we go into, when you have these baseball tournaments, every hotel is booked, every restaurant is full, to the capacity that they can take with COVID. So there's a lot of money that goes in, and people come from all over the place to these AAU type events, whether it be volleyball, cheerleading, and some of the other things that you're able to do in the winter. That's going to bring a lot of money in and put people in empty hotel rooms during the down months. So that is a very smart thing to do. As a parent that is involved in these activities, people will go, and they got to stay somewhere, so you might as well stay in Virginia Beach. Bobby Dyer, thanks for being with us. Great job, as always. We'll have you back. Bobby Dyer, running for mayor. Bobby, people want more information on your campaign, Bobby. Where do they go?
Okay, just look me up on my website, Bobby Dyer for mayor. But let me invite people. Get to know Bobby Dyer. Bobby D, as I'm called. I'm only mayor on Tuesdays. I like to consider myself Bobby D the rest of the week. Go to my go Google me and go to Bobby Dyer, Mayor, Virginia Beach on YouTube. See what I'm about.
All right, Bobby D.
Yeah.
Bobby Dyer for